do have a lot more for federal employees and their families. Trying to fulfill that total need of education, awareness for finances, and that sort of thing. So in line with the inexpensive term insurance and the potential for refunds, we also have a rider on our group term life insurance, which is called a chronic illness rider. So this is an additional cost on top of the term life insurance, and it's based on your age. But this allows you to receive up to $500,000, depending on your term life insurance coverage amounts. You can get up to half of that, capped at $500,000, which would pay out before you pass away. So if you end up having a critical illness, anything such as a stroke, where you can no longer go to work, you can no longer perform the activities of daily living that are necessary, your term life insurance policy with WAEPA will actually pay out if you have the chronic illness rider, and it will pay out in even increments for up to 4 years, and again up to $500,000. And so that is it's basically an advance on your life insurance is one way to look at it. You're paying for the opportunity to tap it in the event that something unfortunate happens to you. So if you're at home and you need caretakers to come assist you, then that chronic illness rider is a valuable tool that you can use to supplement A, lost income because you're no longer working, but B, help care for you while you are still here and you are still interacting with your friends and family.
Okay, so if I'm a federal employee and I unfortunately am stricken with what we're talking about, my salary will continue for a while, but it may eat up my accumulated leave, etc. So at some point, I'm going to have to pull money out of my assets. If my assets aren't strong enough, then I can, if you will, almost borrow against the life insurance total.
That's correct, only it's not borrowing it against it at all. As long as you're paying to add the chronic illness rider onto your term life insurance, then all it does is it reduces the final value upon your death. So it is not a borrowing. You don't have to pay it back or anything like that. If you go through a treatment and you get better somehow, then that is great, and you do not owe those funds back at all. Those were paid to you in your time of need. So we won't borrow against it, but it does basically pay down the final value if and when you do pass away and you do have the term life insurance. Then we'll just subtract the chronic illness rider benefits that were paid out initially from that final value.
This is a pretty nice provision on top of a pretty nice provision. The life insurance, the cost of it, the carrier, etc. is good, but in this case we could use that benefit in advance.
That's right.
And it would stop at whatever the policy phase was. But then this gets more also into the need for people to have life insurance. We're going to hopefully never hit this chronic illness, but it could happen. But if we have the life insurance in place with enough value, there's a way to fund this tough period.
That's correct.
And this is something that is not typically available in group plans or term insurance. This is typically a whole life rider that people have. So we're very proud of this, and we have a lot of people taking advantage of it because they should. $1 million policy, if you got the maximum benefit of $125,000 per year for 4 years, $500,000. So the death benefit would be reduced by that amount of money. So your $1 million policy would reduce to $500,000. It's a tremendous early payout on the death benefit because it isn't taxed, just like your life insurance benefit isn't taxed. So as a CPA, I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Life insurance non-taxable? Okay, I'll remember. I'll say Shane said it wasn't. But for the listeners and watchers, yes, it is non-taxable.